bicyclette, my bicyclette, my bicyclette. My bicyclette, my bicyclette, my bicyclette. My bicyclette, my bicyclette, my bicyclette. My bicyclette, my bicyclette, my bicyclette. Have you seen me yet in my bicyclette? Get your tools out, you can come and tweak these sets.
KWNK 97.7 FM, Bike Life Radio.
Grips in my hands, road under my feet. One day we'll be taking over the streets. The rats get brought up.
We have Reno's failed bike advocacy in the 1980s and a revival by the same people now to make a major bike route on Lakeside Drive safer. But first, here is A Bicicleta by Tokino. That was A Bicicleta by Tokino. This is Bike Life Radio 97.7 FM from the Reno Bike Project and NevadaBike.org. In bike news, the Truckee River Path is being considered for improvements for the first time with comprehensive funding from the Regional Transportation Commission. Go to the Bike Washoe Facebook page to find the link to make a public comment about that. Again, on Facebook, that's Bike Washoe. Okay, so now on to the show. I went to Jan and Jerry Zebrak's house for lunch the other day. You're going to hear water and pans in the background as they're cooking. We talked to Jerry about failed bike advocacy in the 1980s. And later we'll talk to Jan about a current effort to create a shared use path on their road on Lakeside Drive. If you want to read all about it and send a letter to support this effort, go to buildabetterbikenetwork.com. This is really important right now because there is a proposal to build another 100 houses on Lakeside Drive south of Windy Hill in that area. So again, go to buildabetterbikenetwork.com. And what that'll do is it will increase traffic on an already very dangerous road. So go to buildabetterbikenetwork.com to support the effort. Let's start out with Jerry. I always wondered why bike shops weren't more involved in bike advocacy in Reno. Apparently, they tried in the 1980s and early 90s. Jerry says they got burned. And tell us about there was a bike council, you said, that you were a part of.
Right. Went on for maybe 15 years in the 1980s, early 1990s. It was sponsored by all the bike stores in Reno and other people who were interested in biking. And at that time, nobody wanted to listen to us, so we gave up.
Oh, that's a pretty short story.
That's the whole song. But we spent a lot of time trying to get bike lanes put in and sidewalks, and the city council at that time felt that they were unable to spend the money. Washoe County also said the same thing.
Huh. And so what was your response to that?
Frustration. Yeah.
And so you said that it was in place for 10 years?
Yeah. You know, when it's that far back, it's hard to remember for sure. But I would think at least 10 years, because we kept trying and would get new people involved, and it just didn't work.
Yeah. Why? What's your impression of why it didn't work?
There weren't enough people into bicycling or walking or hiking at that time in the proportion of population. Just were not enough.
You know, it's here. Come over this way, because there's a lot of noise from the kitchen and other people. One of the interesting things about that is that if it's not safe, then nobody uses it, nobody does it. So it's like a chicken and egg thing, right? If you don't make safe roads for cyclists and pedestrians and hikers and things like that, then no one's going to do it, right?
It goes
and they don't
around.
Get that.
Yeah, and I'm a cardiologist, and I spent my life trying to get people to exercise. It's much easier now than it was in the 1980s. Nobody knew the advantage to exercise. It just wasn't publicity, and it didn't have the stuff going on that it has now.
Huh, interesting. So, you know, my approach when I was with the Truckee Meadows Bike Alliance and as the president there has been to embarrass the city and rather than be super cooperative, more like just say this is ridiculous. And it seems to have worked. How would you have done things differently back then, do you think, if anything, or do things differently now?
Oh, I thought at that time we tried everything. We tried friendliness, tried aggression, tried to get people to have big parades and meetings, but whatever we tried was met with deaf ears.
Wow, that's terrible. And that was called the Bike Board? Is that right?
Reno Bicycle Council.
The Reno Bicycle Council.
And it was, at that time, there were about 5 bicycle stores in Reno, and they were the main drivers of the council and sort of would set up the meetings. And we'd rotate presidencies, and we'd rotate people going to the city council and the county commission. I think we tried everything we could think of trying outside of taking off our clothes and having us sit in.
And now you live off of Lakeside Drive, and there's a Shero on Lakeside Drive. What do you think of Lakeside Drive in general as far as safety is concerned?
Lakeside Drive has a lot of traffic. It's narrow. There's no bike lanes. There's no pedestrian walkways. And so it's a fairly dangerous road to be on at this point in time.
This is KWNK 97.7 FM Bike Life Radio. Lots more bike music. Here is Ribla Korba by Amsterdam. Apparently, it's a bike song, according to Wikipedia, but I have no idea what they're saying in this song, so I'm just going to have to believe Wikipedia. Here it is.
Neko mi je ukrao biciklo, jer ga nisam dobro vezao lancom. Na biciklo ovde sam naviklo, da ne bi osjećalo strancom. Kučići po ulicama kaku, cipelu sam umazao govancom. Oće da me grizaju u mraku, da se ne bi osjećalo strancom. U kafanu pušu marihuanu ili neku drogu piju s nogu, te sam noći spavalo pod šankom, da se ne bi osjećalo strancom. Jo, jo, jo. Ovdje uopšte nema Holandezi, sve Arapi, Crnci i Kinezi. Tu ljudovi uopšte ne spavaju, samo piču i zajebavaju. Tu kurale u izlozi sedu, čutu pušu prolaznike gledu. Sedu gole ili u negliže, mušterije da im priđu bliže. U kafanu pušu marihuanu ili neku drogu piju s nogu, te sam noći spavalo pod šankom, da se ne bi osjećalo strankom. Jo, jo, jo. Moju malu tražim po kanalu, gde se vodom šetaju sa brodom. Ceo dan sam plivalo sa čamcom, da se ne bi osjećalo strancom. Svuda gužva, frka i krpjanac, nemaš pojma ko je ovdje stranac. Postao sam jedan Amsterdamac, da se ne bi osjećalo stranac. U kafanu pušu marihuanu ili neku drogu piju s nogu, te sam noći spavalo pod šankom, da se ne bi osjećalo strancom. Jo, jo, jo.
In the city of Amsterdam, you can find a lot of fun. The damn square and let's plain. This is something I can't explain. There's a crowd, crazy and loud. In the distance I hear a drum calling me to come to Amsterdam.
Amsterdam, 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 Amsterdam.
Now in the city of Amsterdam, you can find a lot of fun. The damn square and let's plain. This is something I can't explain. There's a crowd, crazy and loud. In the distance I hear a drum calling me to come to Amsterdam.
You're listening to KWNK 97.7 FM, Bike Life Radio, and we are off of Lakeside Drive here. And there's a group of people that are really into bike safety, and one from the 80s. What's your name, sir?
Jerry Zebrak.
As a cardiologist, how good is bicycling for you?
I've done it for a long, long time, since it's now 2024, and I was starting to advocate for it in 1980. I've done it forever, it seems. I've been lucky. I've been able to bicycle all over the United States and in many parts of the world for weeks at a time. And I think it's a great, healthy exercise.
But if you were to tell other people why they should do it, what would the reason be?
It's a fun way to get exercise. You go fast enough so you think you're seeing things and doing things and getting places, but not so fast that you can't see it. Like in a car, you just go breezing by everything really quickly. But at 7 miles an hour on a bike, you can really see things.
How much healthier do you think people's hearts would be if they rode more often?
I think most people would live for years longer and feel so much better if they exercised. And it doesn't seem to matter too much what they do in exercise as long as you get enough in per week. But bicycling's easy on the joints, it's easy on the back, it's easy to do if you have good bicycle spots to do it in.
So would you say that bicycling is the best sport?
For me, for sure, it's the best sport.
What about for everyone?
If it's the best for me, it's the best for everybody.
All right, excellent. All right, thank you, Jerry.
Sure.
He was with the bike Reno Bicycle Council in the 1980s, and they tried to get changes to our roads for 10 years and didn't meet with success. What was that day like when you said, we're not going to do this anymore?
Oh, it was a gradual loss of interest because you knew you weren't getting anywhere. So you'd stop going to meetings and you'd stop appearing before the city council and saying, hey, listen to us. And they didn't listen, so you quit going.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jerry.
Sure. You're welcome.
Hopefully that will change now.
Yeah.
About 40 years later.
I sure hope it does.
That was Jerry Zebrak, who was on the Reno Bike Council in the 1980s. The group was sponsored by bike shops to try and get safer streets in Reno. The effort failed. Now his wife is spearheading an effort to get protected paths on Lakeside Drive south of Windy Hill. Go to buildabetterbikenetwork.com to read more about this and send a letter of support. That's it for Bike Life Radio. We ride our bikes out into the world and we talk to people about their bikes and their lives. This show is thanks to NevadaBike.org, BikeWashoe.org, and KWNK, owned and operated by the nonprofit bike shop Reno Bike Project on Grove Street. To close out today's show, here is another bike song, according to Wikipedia. The Wonder Years, an elegy for Baby Blue. I'm Kai Plascon. Ride on.
15 past midnight on the west side, with signs and shady blocks like landmines. Yellow eyes under street lights, and we got it and they found me tonight. We won't capsize in the meantime, we won't break down, we'll be alright. We'll just dust off and head back inside. And didn't know it yet, man, but Dylan was right, 'cause it's all over now, baby blue. It's like the